It's pain, process, power.
If no one's told you lately, because everything is perfect, but because I'm done waiting for Welcome back to another episode of Power Moves, the podcast where we turn struggle into strategy and beauty into real power. I'm your host, Sash. You know, people always admire the results of success: the degrees, the scholarship, the business, the recognition. But very few understand the process. And if I'm being honest, the process isn't glamorous. It's not Instagram quotes and quick hacks. It's sacrifice. It's self discipline. It's learning how to say no to what feels good now so you can say yes to what builds your future. My grind didn't start in university. It started at 14 years old, when my parents' business went downhill. I had to step in. I supported my sisters. I helped my parents keep things afloat. And at just 17, I hustled 4,000 US dollars to pay off my school fees with no help from anyone. Just perseverance, resourcefulness, and the courage to bet on myself. I was literally the cornerstone of my family before I was even grown. Making sure everyone was fed, making sure the bills were handled, carrying responsibilities that would crush some adults. And for years, I put other people's needs above my own until I realized the truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If I didn't start meeting my own needs first, I wouldn't be able to carry anyone else. That's a mogul lesson. You lead by strengthening your own foundation. So, by the time I reached university, I was already forged in fire. I had paid my tuition, cover my rent, buy my own car, and juggle 4 courses while working for the university itself. On top of that, I had to hustle just to make payments on time every month. There was no safety net, no one to swoop in and cover the bills for me without conditions. And let me tell you, the reality forced me into a mindset shift. I had to be in charge of my life. But it wasn't just about working hard. It was about learning how to work strategically. And that's where most people go wrong. They grind, they hustle, but they don't structure their grind in a way to actually produce results. So today, I want to give you what I call the sacrifice blueprint. 5 strategies for real success. These aren't fluffy tips. These are principles that I had to live through. Strategies that still shape the way I move today. Number 1, ruthless prioritization. Protect the mission. The hardest thing I had to learn in school wasn't organic chemistry or accounting formulas. It was the discipline of saying no. Not to bad things, but to good things. The fun night outs, to people I loved but who drained my focus, to distractions that felt familiar and exciting but didn't serve the bigger picture. Here's the truth: every yes has a cost. Every time you say yes to someone else's plan, you're saying no to your own. The strategy: before you commit to anything, ask yourself, does this move me closer to my mission or further away? If the answer is further, you already know what to do. Number 2, self-centeredness as a strategy, not an attitude. No, I don't mean selfish in the negative sense. I mean self-centered. Centered on your goals, centered on your discipline, centered on your vision. When I was grinding, I had to block out noise. I had to cut off friends who didn't see the vision, not because I hated them, but because I couldn't afford to get pulled off track. And as someone who had been carrying others since I was 14, I also had to learn this. Helping yourself first is not selfish. It's strategic. If you're not stable, your foundation crumbles, and everyone depending on you crumbles with it. The strategy: build what I call a vision boundary. Not everyone gets access to your time, energy, or your mind space. Protect it the way a CEO protects asset, because your vision is your greatest asset. Number 3, strategic multitasking, the efficiency formula. I was doing 4 courses, working long hours, managing life expenses. If I didn't learn how to stack my time, I would have drowned. But here's the thing: multitasking doesn't mean doing everything at once. It means learning how to design your day so every task feeds the next. For example, I used to study during work breaks, listening to educational podcasts on the commute, and use downtime to draft assignments. The strategy: identify your wasted time pockets, commutes, waiting periods, scrolling breaks, and reinvest them into growth activities. Those 15 to 30-minute windows are silent weapons for acceleration. Number 4, emotional detachment. This one is good. Train the mind, not just the schedule. People will try to throw you off your grind. Some because they envy your discipline. Others because they don't understand your vision. The hardest part isn't resisting them once, it's resisting them consistently. The strategy: build what I call emotional detachment discipline. Remind yourself daily: the feelings of loneliness, fear, or missing out are temporary. The rewards of discipline are permanent. Train yourself to feel the emotion, but never act on it. That's the separation between dreamers and doers. Number 5, play the long game. Delayed gratification mastery. At the end of the day, success is a test of patience. Can you delay the no for the later? Can you sacrifice short-term pleasure for the long-term positioning? When I was paying rent and tuition with no help, I had 2 choices: look for shortcuts or commit to long game. Here's the reality: Shortcuts may give you speed, but they also give you ceiling. The long game builds foundation. What's the strategy for that one? Create a 3-level goal system. Immediate, that's the daily or the weekly. What must I finish now? And then you have the medium term, which is 3 to 6 months. What will these sacrifices build towards? And then you have the long term, the 3 to 5 year plan. Who am I becoming? This reframes sacrifice as investment. You're not just giving something up, you're buying your future with it. People don't always see your vision when you're in the mess. They only see it when the grind pays off. But that's okay, because your life isn't meant to be understood in the process. It's meant to be respected in the results. So, if you're listening to this and you're tired, overwhelmed, or questioning whether it's worth it, hear me clearly. Discipline pays compound interest. The sacrifices you make today are building the freedom you walk in tomorrow. This is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. The common person looks for balance. The uncommon person builds focus. And success is reserved for the uncommon. Catch you on episode 6. Thank you.